your income and you're just using it to pay bills, well, unfortunately you will not grow wealth, right? But today we're talking about one strategy that is going to help you grow wealth, right? Grow your money, right? Save your money and grow your money. And that is what is called investing, right? Because if you just all you do is take your money and you put it in the bank, you get 0.01%. Unfortunately, inflation is definitely at what's it called, is at 3.3%. Okay, so what do? You have to invest. However, understand that investing also comes with its risk, right? But how then can you invest in the stock market without you losing your money? Or how then do you invest in general without you losing your money, right? And that is what we're about talking about. So welcome. Tap the live. We're trying to get to 10,000 likes in the first 10 minutes. And of course, welcome here. Share with your friend. Mary, welcome. And every other person joining, welcome. Happy Saturday. And by the way, I just want to meet every one of you today. Where are you connecting from? How are you doing? We're talking about Mimoy. Hello, welcome. How are you? And you know the drill. Drill is we tap it out and we get to 10,000 likes the first 10 minutes. Yeah, so thank you so much for doing that. How are you doing? Happy Saturday. How's your Saturday coming along? Awesome. Thank you so much for tapping out the live. Welcome. And today it's question and answer. Feel free to come to the panel session. This is just it's your opportunity to ask any question. But we will talk about investing, which is what is coming up, the Smart Investing Workshop coming up May the 2nd. So, but today it's your opportunity, free consultation, any questions on real estate, smart investing in general, or any questions at all. Is it regarding your credit? You want to build your credit? You're trying to build your income. Is this something on skills? Oh, thank you so much for sharing the live. Welcome. And on the YouTube side, we're trying to let us get to 20 subscribers today. And on the TT side as well, let us get to as many followers as possible, but we're trying to get to 10,000 likes the first 10 minutes so that we can get on the FYP. Welcome, and let me know where you're joining from. Cyril, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome. And it's about smart investing in general, question and answer. Feel free to request, just send a request, or just put it in the message and say that you want to come up, you want to ask any question. We're trying to let's keep tapping out the live. 10,000 likes the first 10 minutes so we can get on the FYP. And everyone here, welcome. We're talking about investing. Have you ever wanted to start investing, or you make your money but then you see that your money is not growing? It's because you are not investing. Because if all you do is to take your money and keep it in the bank, it's not growing, but it's safe. It's not growing. It is also losing its value to inflation every single year. Right now, inflation is at 3.3%. It means that you are losing 3.3% of your money when it sits in the bank. On top of that, you only get 0.01% return, right? You're losing at 3.3%. You're only getting growth at 0.01%. So it doesn't happen. It means that you are losing close to like 3.49% or 3.29% is what you're getting, like that you're losing, right? So what then do? You have to put it in some form of investment. But there's also risk with investment, and that is what we're talking about. Tammy, welcome. Mary, welcome. Everyone, welcome. Let me know where you're connecting from. If you haven't subscribed, do that. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. I shall release the latest video, long form video tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that. Hey, did you get your message? Sorry, I responded late. I just needed to manage my my time wealth, right? It's just been a busy time, so that's why I'm just responding. I had a whole lot of DM full, so I just responded. But I hope that helped you. How are you? So we're talking about, so if you ever wanted to invest, you don't know how to go about it, this life is for you. Or you are too afraid to invest, this is for you. You want to invest in real estate, this is for you. You want to invest in the stock market, you don't know how, this is definitely for you. So share the life, invite your friends. Let us tap. We try for the people that are just new here. The OGs already know. We tap out the live. The first 10 minutes, we try to get to 10,000 likes. So non-stop tap is da 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 da. Just your fingers tapping it out, even as you are locked in, right? But you are ready. Just be locked in. We are ready for. It's going to be a ride, right? You're going to learn a lot. If your goal is to build wealth, welcome. And if you are just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm Doctor of Business and Technology, and I help professionals turn their turn their income, their 9 to 5 into real wealth. So if what you're just doing is you're taking your income, right? All that you do is you take your income here. Hey, Pi 212. All that you do is take your income and you just use it to fund lifestyle. What you're basically doing is you're not building wealth. You're just trading your life for lifestyle. You're just trading your life to pay bills. And that's why a lot of people are stuck working 9 to 5 for 40 years, for 45 years, and they still don't have financial freedom. Cade, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for tapping out the live. If you are just new to you've been hearing about investing, or you are too afraid to invest, or you don't even know how to get started with investing, understanding that through investing is the only way you can grow your money. That is why you were here. And if you have question, this is about question and answer. And you're wondering, who is this lady? I am Dr. Lina. I am not alias doctor. I am Doctor of Business and Technology. I like the siren. I'm not sure what siren is that. What's that? Is it the light or whatever? Right? So welcome, welcome. Subscribe if you haven't. Follow if you haven't. Let's tap out the live. Let's tap out the live. And if you have any question, can you say, oh, Brooklyn. Okay, welcome, Brooklyn. How are you? Mary, God bless her daughter. We are all blessed. I love that. Olu, Mr. James Adepoto, welcome. Beautiful, beautiful name. Welcome, welcome here. Let's keep tapping out the live. The landlord, welcome. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's get it to 1,000. Let's get it to 1,000 on our way to 10,000, so that we can get to the FYP right there. If you also have been here, remember to get your 3 things we talk about, aside what the ritual is, get your daily at me, outdoor warning system. I'm not sure. Outdoor one is, what's it called? Your daily at me, your taps for the first 10,000 for the first 10 minutes. And of course, go populous. That really pushes us out right there. So, today is about investing. If you ever want to invest, okay? So understanding that if all that you do is you take your income, right? And you put it, you take your income. Ella, welcome. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Subscribe if you haven't. Do that. You have so many things to gain than to lose. So do that. Take a second to do that, to subscribe. And okay, so if all you do is you take your income, and this is whatever I'm talking about, it's universal across or globally. So it's not in the US, it's not in Africa, it's not in Europe. It is a global knowledge. If all that you do is you take your income, all that you do is to pay bills, what you realize is that you're just spending your time, trading your time for money and paying bills. But then what should you do instead, right? Because this is what we're taught in school. Get a good job, right? Go to school, get a good job. Once you get a good job, of course, get money, right? You're being paid, and of course, fund your lifestyle. That is what we were taught. However, what should you do? Take some of the income that you make, right, from your skills. Take some of those money and use some of them to foot your bills. What are those basic bills, right? Basic needs of life. That is your housing, rent or mortgage, your car or your transportation, bus pass or whatever. That is the second thing. Number 3 is groceries, right? Clothing, groceries, of course, not the expensive one, basic needs, right? That's the basic needs of life. And of course, utilities. You want light on, you want heat, you want, a cool environment. Those are the 4 basic needs. Anything outside of that is extra. Those are wants. So what you want to do is focus on your basic needs, right? That's what that's what keeps you alive. That is the bill. However, what should you now do when you now want to attend to that? the the remaining part of your fund, you put it towards asset. Remember, I did not say the wants, I said basic needs. Then you now put, instead of you focusing on the wants next, a lot of time people will do the next, then the next thing is the wants, or even some people focus on the wants before the needs, right? You do the needs, right? Then you take the next thing is for you to focus on asset. What are assets? Assets are things that puts money in your pocket, right? It puts money, you put your money into it, it gives you something in return. So think about it. Something like you buy a property, you rent it out. You put money in the stock market, you get money in return. You put money in a business, you get profit. Those are assets. But think about, and it's called appreciating cash flow in asset. Now, on this side, you see the basic needs and the wants and all of that. They take money from you. They take, what do I mean? So think about it. That's your utilities that you paid. Is it possible when you give them money? Is it possible for you to say, "Oh, I want interest on my money"? It's not possible. It's an expense. It's an expense. It's a liability. It's something that just take money from you. It takes the money and never gives you, or it gives you something in return, like the light. It gives you a house. It gives you something of your rent. You can't go back and say, "Oh, you know what? What's the interest on my rent right now?" It's not possible. It's a liability. So it means that whenever you put your money towards liability, it just takes everything from you. You are not getting anything in return. It just means that you are working and you are paying for something that is just taking something from you. Okay? So, but when you put some of it towards those, because understanding that you still need some of those bills, some of those expenses, you need them. So what do you now do, right? You still focus on what is like the basic needs. Then you now takes the majority of it, ideally 30 to 50%. It must sound crazy. It's fine. You might not have 30 to 50% right now. Oh, mommy, wow, thank you so much for the follow. You might not have 30 to 50% now, but set it as a goal, right? So that whenever you change your job or your income increases, you get another side also. You know that you're not taking that extra also, that money from the extra also, or that job change. You are not taking that money and putting it towards, things that are liability. You are not funding liabilities anymore. What you are basically doing is you are putting it towards asset. Thank you all for tapping out the light. For everyone that just joined, we're trying to get to 10,000 taps within the first 10 minutes. That is what we do here. Get your daily admin. Do go populars if you can, right? That will just help this life, and it's going to, that's also, you pay forward to bring so many other people to come and learn. So really appreciate you all joining today, and it's about investing. Live question and answer, whatever. If you want to come on the panel, feel free to do that. And on the YouTube side, we're trying to get to 20 subscribers today. Let's do that. You have more things to gain than to lose. I'll be releasing the long form videos tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that, because I tell you, it's something very special that you don't want to miss. So subscribe, turn on the notification bell right there. So on the TT side right now, so having said that, so what do you now do? You put some of the money on asset. What sort of assets do you put your money to? What are example of asset? Like I said, like businesses, like real estate, like stock market. Like the pretty common one is stock market. Okay, the pretty common one is the stock market. So because it has easy entry, it has all of that. But let us also understand that whenever you put money in the stock market, we always know that there is the risk, right? There's the risk of losing money, right? But and because of that, a lot of times people would say, you know what, I don't want to invest. I don't want to put money. I'd just rather leave it in the bank. But it is even riskier because it's a guaranteed loss when you leave your money in the bank. What do I mean? The stock market, the bank, averagely there's something called inflation, right? It is not you, it is the economy. It is calculated right now, is at 3.3% in the United States. In some countries it is even in double digits. So it means that this inflation is just a rate. It just shows you the rate at which you are losing, your money is losing value. Right now in the US, it's more like your money is losing value at 3.3%. So think about it. If you put that money in the bank and you're looking at it, yes, I have $100. Guess guess what? That $100 is reducing in value 3.3% every single year. It means that if you took 3.3% last year, right? I mean, you take $100 last year to the bank, right? I mean, to the store. What you were able to purchase is going to be less than 3.3%. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome here. Thank you all for tapping out the light. Thank you for getting doing the daily admin. And of course, we're trying to get to 10,000 taps within the next 10 minutes so that we can get on the FYP. Thank you so much for the daily admin. Awesome. So the second thing, so understanding that all that you do, and if you're wondering, we have the YT YouTube side, we have the TikTok side. So in case you're wondering who am I talking to, tap and all of that, that's because this is about efficiency. Having multiple communities talk gives us a larger reach. Okay, and please, let's keep tapping out the life. I know tap means it costs you nothing, just your fingers, right? As you're here locked in getting all this information, let's not forget to tap all the way. We're getting to 10,000. Really appreciate that. Enrique, thank you so much for doing that, and every other person doing those heavy taps. Okay, and also share with your friends and family as well. Point my forehead in the screen, push it, your contact comes down, then share with them so that they can come and learn how to build wealth the right way. Thank you so much. Awesome. Let's keep tapping non-stop. Thank you so much. Awesome. So having said that, so how then do you, like I said, when your money is just sitting in the bank, that is a guaranteed loss, right? What does the guaranteed loss? It is guaranteed losing 3.3%, guaranteed, because that is the rate of inflation in the US as of today. Mommy, go healthy, please. I don't know. Yes, it's 3.3%. That's what we're talking about. So subscribe. You would learn more. It means that you're losing 3.3%. It means that your money is in the bank. You might be looking at it. Yes, my $100 is there. It's there, but it is losing 3.3%. Okay, and there might also be some monthly maintenance fee as well. If you have in Bank of America and all of those kind of bank in the United States or even in your own country, there are some fees that they always charge. But how then do you hedge against this, right? 3.3, because you don't have control over it. It's the economy. You don't have control. So how do you hedge against this? It is by you investing. But then let us not forget, whenever you invest in the stock market or you invest in the real estate, there is the risk as well of you losing your money. So then what should you do? How then do you invest? Because it's like the devil and the deep blue sea. Which one should you choose, right? So there's the one that is guaranteed loss, but there's the one that your chances of still winning is there. Yeah, right? So in the stock market, it's almost like a 50-50, you lose your money or you gain your money. And then so for somebody like me, 6 years ago, I invested in the stock market, did it the wrong way, and I did lose close to $100,000. Yes, $100,000 was what I lost. Yes, and I'm still standing. And then that was because for me, impossibilities is never an option for me, right? It's never. So it is, Savannah, welcome. It's never an option for me. And that's when I started researching and thinking, okay, there has to be a better way. Because if somebody like, they call him the Lord of Investing, if they say that the number one thing, so if you go on Google right now, if they ask, where does the multi-millionaires and the billionaires put their money? You would see it's a stock market. So it means that stock market is a valid place. The second thing is real estate. Then you have businesses. Then you have antique. You have picture, artwork, and all of those things. Those are things that you would see. And then I was like, okay, it means that they are making money in this thing. It's just me that I don't know how to do it and I'm not doing it the right way. So what is the right way? And that's when I started doing the research. And I did find, it's pretty popular. Everybody knows it. It's just that people look past it and they were like, oh, you know what? No, it's not possible. You cannot make money through this. But then, I listened to the interview when they interviewed Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, they call him the Lord of Investing. He's an old man right now. He's the owner of the Berkshire Hathaway, right? Is what 1.6 billion. They call him Lord of Investing for a reason. As a matter of fact, I made He got five. What was his return on Coca-Cola? He's an investor in Coca-Cola, and last this year he made two. Is it 200 and something $1 million? That was his return on investment, right? Right there. So that is how wealthy he is. So and then when they asked him and they said, okay, how do you invest in the stock market? How which stock should we buy? He said, you don't. Why are you in picking stocks? Why not buy a basket of stock? A basket of stock. So if you and you see it, number one on the list, right? Where you check multimillionaires and the billionaires, where do they put their money? You would see it basket of fund, and it's called index fund and ETFs. Index fund, and you probably would have heard this. It's as simple as that. That is how you can hedge against. That's how you can hedge against the inflation. It's taking 3.3% from your money, and at the same time, you not losing your money in the stock market like myself when you buy individual stock. Because when you buy individual stock, the risk is very high. Why is the risk very high? It's a 50-50 chance. You are betting that this stock is going to go up. You are not God, so you don't know, right? You can do your analysis. Of course, there's some people that can do the analysis, take their time, analyze the profit and loss statement of the company, analyze their assets, analyze, like their revenues and all of that, and then they see that, oh, you know what, the chances of this company growing is very high. However, there's so many things that goes into that. There's something called goodwill. Let's assume there's a litigation in the company. Even if the company is doing well, it is enough to bring down the entire company. That you don't have control over, right? That is not about, because the sale is going to drop. So I give an example. Let's talk about Amazon. Amazon is an amazing company. Everybody says, everybody wants to invest in Amazon. But think about it. Amazon owns AWS, which is the data center, right? So think about Amazon, the AWS. Something happens tomorrow, right? I'm not saying, we're saying hypothetically. Something happens tomorrow, and there's a vulnerability, and which led to a data breach, right? And people's data, their privacy, got leaked, right? That is a major, major, major breach, which happened to, is it Equifax or which other one, early years ago, right? Because of that, right? Just because of that, a lot of people are going to sue Amazon, right? They will sue AWS automatically. That's also Amazon, right? They sue them. When they sue them, what happened? That's a lot of litigation. That is a lot of money, right? There's legal fees, there is settlement and all of that, which runs into billions of dollars at times. That's how crazy. Guess what? The stock is going to go down. Basically, that's what is going to happen. And guess what? You betting that, okay, I know Amazon is absolutely, everything is doing well, right? Until that vulnerability, which they never knew about. Can we keep tapping out the likes? Let's keep tapping. I know we are locked in. Let's get to 10,000 likes. I know we are locked in, right? We are all locked in. Mary, Arika, Melody, G's, Dini, Davi, B, Alfred. All of you, can we keep tapping? Let's get it to 10,000, right? Let's get it to 10,000. I mean, we are all here. We're enjoying this so that some other people can come and learn. When we tap and we tap good, what we'll do is that you will see that league from D199, we will get to a 10%, top 10%. And when we get to 10%, guess what is that? We will get on the FYP, and more people will come and learn how to build wealth the right way. It just helps you. And if you have Go Popular, it costs you 1 cent. If you can do that, it just makes it popular. And also get your daily admin. If you've been sitting for 5 minutes and you find this valuable, yes, get your daily admin. It costs you 1 cent as well. 1 penny, 1 cent. Not, I mean, it's nothing, right? To a lot of us, right? People take 1 penny, they don't even call it as, they don't count it as something as money, right? People don't do that anymore. Okay, so thank you, love. Awesome. So having said that, so think about it, like Amazon, something like that happens. Let's keep tapping tapping non-stop. Who are the good tappers? I know we can get to 10,000. Let's keep doing that non-stop. When it comes to finance, I know everybody wants to learn. And on the YouTube side, that is for the TT side. On YouTube side, let's subscribe if you haven't. We're talking about investing the right way, a strategy that works for the multimillionaires and the billionaires. That works, and you can use the same strategy. That's what the Warren Buffett of this world uses, and it's called something called index fund. It is called ETF, and I will start talking about it shortly, right? I'll start talking about it shortly. Let's keep tapping out the live. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Let's keep tapping out. Like, can we get it to, let's start with 1,000. Let's do that. Thank you so much for doing that. And can we also share? Let's power share. Let's power share. And so, this strategy, why is it very beneficial, right? Why is it very beneficial? It's because it helps to address most of the things that I get, or why do I start talking about it? It helps to address most of the things that I get in my box every day, in my DM. Dr. Lina, what stock should I buy? Dr. Lina, I want to start investing. I don't know how to get started. Dr. Lina, I want to get started, but I don't know how. So, a lot of things, this is going to help you, because most of the time it's not like people don't want to invest. Even if it's $1, even if it's just $10, people want to invest. They genuinely want to invest. But we were not taught in school how to do this investing, how to open an account, how to put it in there, which account should I open. So it becomes very complex, right? And this is why you see people like me, like Leap, or like all of these different people, that we're talking about this, just so, because when your money is just seated there, it's not growing. And when your money is not growing, all you'll be doing is to work and do paycheck to paycheck, continue on that hamster wheel, continue to do rat race continuously, because nothing is growing your money, right? But if some of your money is growing through other means, what are you going to, then through investing, you realize that your money is growing. So like the rule of 72 say that your money is going to double every 7 years. So it means that in 7 years, your money will double. That means that's extra money for you right there. So, and one of the things, why are people not investing? One of the things that I realized, or that I've seen or got in my inbox, is that I am too confused. I don't know where to get started. I want to, Dr. Lina, I mean, people even say it here. They say, Dr. Lina, you talk about this investing, but I don't know how to go about it. Yes, it is a valid point, right? Because you need to understand what it is. The other thing is that I'm too scared. What if I lose my money? I'm just making this money, but I don't want to lose it, because there's no school for it. So how do I go about it? Very valid point, because in investing, you can also lose your money. Number 3 is, it takes a lot of money to get started. Yes. So this one, I do not agree, right? But I also understand, because you do not know. Because it doesn't take a lot of money. With $1, yes, just $1, you can start investing. You can use it to buy stock. And I'm not saying penny stock. You can buy fractional shares. So years ago, in the past, you cannot, whenever you want to invest or you want to buy a stock, it's not, you cannot buy fractionally. You have to, if the price of the stock is $500, you have to have $500 to buy that whole stock. But now you can buy a $1 worth of that particular stock that is worth 500, which is called fractional shares, right? Called fractional shares. So there's no reason, right? There's no reason. I say this, so far you want financial freedom, because that's what I talk about. So far you want financial freedom, you really have to invest. You don't have any other choice if you want financial freedom, because let me explain what I mean by that. Financial freedom simply means that you have control over your time, over your life, over, you have control to take decisions, right? Now, even if you earn $500,000 or $1 million, but you don't have control over your time, because you are on call, right? As a doctor, you are, you have a night shift. You can spend that with your family. You can't just simply travel without taking a permission. Of course, and then there is the number of days that you have in a year for you to go on a trip, or, even if you are sick, you have the number of days that you are permitted to be sick, right? Sick leave. You have the number of days. You cannot say that, there is a permission. Even disability, 6 months short-term disability or whatever, there is the limit, right? Just the same way with unemployment, there is 6 months limit, right, that you can get. Now, anything that requires your time, that when you have to trade your time to get money, it means that you remember, time is money. You trade your time, you get money, right? You are making that money, but what you are not getting is, you don't have freedom. So you are trading your own freedom for money, right? But guess what? Freedom is absolutely the goal, because you want to be able to. I mean, if you're somebody like me, I believe everybody wants freedom. You want to have control. You want to spend time with your family. You want to do things that are more purposeful, right? Because, of course, not paying bills, going to work and paying bills, it's not a purpose. I hope we know that, right? So, how then are you able to still achieve this purpose, and, of course, not trade your time for money? That's why you need to invest. You need to not invest, you need to figure out how to grow your money, right? So, and that's why my own pillar of wealth I always talk about, right? My own pillars, I talk about four pillars of wealth creation. The first one is your income, which everybody talks about, right? We all know. You get you go to school, you get a job, or you got a skill, and you got a job. Now, with that job, from that job, you start earning income. Now, when you earn that income, what you're supposed to do, pay some of the bills, right? And then put some of it on asset, right? And this is investing investing in the stock market is one of those assets. Real estate is one of those assets. Businesses is another kind of asset. Now, what of investing in that stock market? Yes, all of this that I've talked about comes with a risk, right? But if you also put it in savings, inflation, that is a guaranteed risk, taking 3.3% guaranteed every single year, because that is what the inflation in the United States is. Your country, some countries in Africa, it's actually double digit inflation. It means that that's how much you are losing. Your money is losing every single year right now. And just to bring it to perspective, how much is gas right now? Gas was, at least I know in Texas, gas was like, when I buy gas, meaning the premium, the highest grade, right? I used to buy it for $2.33 a gallon. Today, I'm buying it at over $4 a gallon, right? What does that mean? It means that your purchasing power has reduced, right? So how then do you hedge against this inflation that is eating your money? What you need to do is, so you don't have any choice than to invest, because you want to grow it. Now, in the investing part, like I said, you can also lose it if you buy individual stock, because the chances is a 50-50. You can lose it or you can gain it. Thank you so much for sharing the life and tapping out the life. So where do you now find the fine line where you are not just, saving it and losing it to inflation, but investing it and losing it to stock market on a 50-50? That's what I talk about here. It's called smart investing. What is smart investing? Instead of you buying individual stock, you are buying a basket of stock. So it shifts it automatically from a 50-50 ratio to a whatever, maybe a 10 100, 10 to 100 ratio, or 1 to 100, because now you have multiple stocks that you are buying at the same time. So bringing about the illustration I brought up, or I talked about earlier, which is Amazon, AWS, that I talked about, right? That if, let's say, it goes down, it means that you lose your money. But now think about it. You don't only have Amazon. You have Coca-Cola, which is another industry, another sector. You have retail in it. You have real estate in it. You have technology in it. So you have Nvidia, which is technology. You have Exxon, which is energy. You have all of the different sector. Whenever you make that singular purchase, it's that basket of fund that you're buying. Whenever you do it, you're doing multiple, right? And the very popular one, because I tell you, it's very popular, it's known, but a lot of people are sleeping on it because it is very simple, right? Very easy. So people often sleep on it. A lot of time they will say, oh, you know what? Your money is not going to grow. People want a get rich quick thing. It is not. It is not. It won't make you rich overnight, but it is one that is going to guarantee you to if your goal is $1 million status, it's going to take you to that part. If you want to build generational wealth, it's going to go to that part. And that's the reason why it's on the number one list, right? On the number one list of the multi-millionaires and the billionaires. Index fund and ETF, right? I always say trust but verify. So go on Google, take another device and check multi-millionaires and billionaires. Where do they pick your money? You would see it right there. you would see it right there and you confirm what I'm saying. So you will not see penny stock. I mean, that explains why when I lost my $100,000, that explains why I lost it, because I was doing what should not be done. Three things that I was doing. I was doing penny stock, I was doing day trading, and of course I was doing options. I did a little bit of options trading, which are pretty risky. Yes, your money can grow, but I do not have, some people have the knowledge of it, but I do not have sufficient knowledge. And even when I have the knowledge, I do not have the time, right? Because I have a full-time job. Most of the people that do all of those kind of things, they don't have it. This is their full-time job. They are watching the chat morning, afternoon, night. They understand it and they have the time to sit there. But you and I, my day job is vice president of technology. Where do I have the time to sit and be doing all of that? I don't. But then and that's the same thing with the multimillionaires and the billionaires, because they don't have the time to start looking at any chart. They don't have the luxury of all of those things. So they just like, keep it simple. Buy ETF and index funds. So what are it? Basket of fund. And you probably have heard about one of them, which is pretty popular, right? S&P 500, right? We all know. Who knows about S&P 500? Put one in the comment section. If you know about S&P 500 or ETF, put one. And let's keep tapping out the live and follow and subscribe if you haven't done that. Let's subscribe. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's share out the live. Yeah. Who knows about SR? I'm sure everybody knows about it. It's pretty popular. Nobody knows about it. And if you don't know S&P 500, there is the VOO, right? You probably would that, or SPY, right? Mary, Arike, Alfred, Coco, Melody, Dini, Suarez. Yeah, let's keep tapping out the live. Can we get it to 1,000? Seriously, can we get it to 1,000? What's going on? Or is it that it's not just moving? Right? Are we tapping and it's not just working? Or what's going on? Yeah. Are we tapping? And please put in the comments, if you know, put 1. If you do not know, put 0. So I know. Or if you're a beginner investor, put 0. If you are an intermediate, put 1. Thank you, Lord. Thank you all for tapping out the live. Thank you for sharing the live. Really appreciate that. Let's keep tapping it out. Let's get it to 1,000, right? We're going to get to 10,000, but we have not even got to 1,000, right? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's have the tappers in the house tap it out. Let's tap it out. Awesome. Awesome. Let's keep tapping it. Let's keep tapping it out non-stop. Let's keep tapping it out. Thank you so much for tapping it out non-stop. Let's keep doing that. Let's keep, I know we are all locked in. Let's get it to 1,000. Let's get it to 1,000. And then we'll start talking about ETF. Who wants to know about ETF? Let's keep tapping it out. Let's get it to 1,000. Then we'll talk about ETF. Thank you. Thank you for tapping it out. We can do it. Let's get it to 1,000, and let's tap it out to 1,000. Okay, and subscribe if you haven't. I am still here. Yeah, thank you so much for tapping it out. Thank you all for tapping it out. And I'll just have a quick restroom break. Is that okay? Can we wait for a few minutes? Let's keep tapping it out. I'll just have a quick restroom break, okay? All right, let's keep tapping out. Let's not stop tapping. Thank you for doing that. Mary, Arike, Suarez, Dini, Coco, Alfred, Sheba, Melody. Let's keep tapping it. Thank you so much for doing that. I'll step out for a second and let's not stop. And if you can also power share, that'll be great. Thank you for doing that. Thank you so much for doing that. Then when I'm back, we'll start talking about ETF, the different types of ETFs, that how to open the accounts and all of that, right? And the things that you need to start, what you need to be conscious about. We will talk about that shortly, and my recommendation in terms of the ETFs. And of course, if you don't know how to get started, the workshop that is coming next Saturday, actually next Saturday, so that you can take advantage of that. Thank you so much for the follow, Danny. So that you can take advantage of it. It's free, but registration. So I'll show you how to do that. Thank you so much for tapping out the light. I'll just step aside for a minute, and hopefully we get to 10,000 by the time I'm back. Thank you so much.
MROC automates global sales tax compliance, reducing your company's risk and saving time for your team. It's the only complete solution that tracks your sales tax and VAT exposure in real time and calculates and collects the right tax on every transaction. We handle registration, filing, and revenue reporting for you, speeding up audit prep and reconciliation. Connect with your billing and HR tools in just a few clicks. ANROC is trusted by today's fastest growing software companies. Learn more today at anroc.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for waiting. Okay, great. We almost at 1,000. And somebody requested, let me know. I accepted. Maybe it's an error. I'm not sure, but that's fine as well. So great. Let's get it to 1,000. Then we'll start talking about the ETF, but let's not stop at tapping, and let's share the life as well. So if you're just joining, we're talking about smart investing, how to invest the right way, right? A strategy that you can use to ensure that you're building your wealth, right? Building your money, understanding that if you just leave it in the bank, you are losing it to inflation. That's 0. To about 3.3% in the United States. That's what you're losing your money to. But then also understanding that if you just put it in stock market, the risk is there for you to also lose, right? So how then do you now invest? ETF. What are ETFs? Is the way to go. ETF is a strategy used by the multimillionaires and the billionaires, right? And this strategy is called, it's a basket of stock. Simple. It's a simple strategy which you can use it. Anybody can use it, right? A simple strategy. It's a basket of funds whereby instead of you buying individual stocks, right? You are buying multiple of stocks. So you're buying multiple, right, of stocks. That's what you're basically doing. An ETF is exchange traded fund. So you're wondering what that is. Exchange traded fund. So it's a fund, right? And it has several stock in that fund. It is managed by different companies. And there are different kind of funds, right? There are different types of ETFs, right? Because it depends on two things that guides what is in a fund. It's whatever the brokerage firm puts in that, or the fund manager puts in it. So for instance, they could put the top 500 company in the United States, which is what you have as S&P 500. They could put the top S&P 1000, the top 1000 companies in the United States. Or they could simply put the top 100 energy companies. They could put the top 50 energy stocks, right? It means that whenever you buy that fund, and for every single time you buy it, you are buying multiple that is in that basket. That's what you are buying. You are not buying individual stock. So why is this a good strategy, or or a better one versus buying individual? G Minor, thank you so much for the follow, right? Why is it a better strategy? Number one is that it is very beginner friendly. Okay, you can open your account on Monday, fund your account on Monday and start investing immediately. Very beginner friendly. Then the second thing is you don't need to start thinking of, which stock should I buy. You should only think about, you can easily look at the record and say, oh, this ETF, you can see the performance of the ETF. This ETF has a track record of returning this percentage for the past 20, 30 years. That is enough. It has a track record and it's well managed, because it is the fund managers that are managing it, basically. And then the other thing is that the fee structure is very low. So compared to the managed funds, right? Because of course, maybe you'd have heard that people would have their investment managed by by investment banker. That could become very expensive, right? And it's between 1% to 1.2% or something, or 1.5%, which takes a lot from you, right? But this fund is, they are in their 0.02%, 0.03%, because it is not it's not custom made. It's like already, it's a whole basket. So it's not like customized for you. So that is why it's cheap, because you have so many people that are using that same customized one, just like you and I right now, that can just simply buy it, right? It's how do I put it? It's not customized, okay? And that's the reason why because it's cheaper in terms of managing it, right? And then the other part of it is, aside from the fees, aside for easy entry, the other part of it is, you see that the biggest part of it is diversification, right? What does the diversification, what do I mean by diversification? So when you buy a stock, individual stock, you could lose, your chance of winning and or losing is a 50-50 chance. But when you are buying the basket of funds, right, you are spreading your risk, right? You are edging against the risk in the stock market, whereby you're saying that, okay, you know what, I have 500 stocks, right? The chances of the 500 stock becoming zero is absolutely impossible, right? It's almost impossible. And then you're not just buying, for instance, you taking S&P 500 as an example, you're not just buying individual stock, right? I mean, you're not just buying just any 500 stock, you are buying the highest performing stocks in the United States, right? Highest performing. So in any time that you want to pick any ETF, right, always look at what is in that basket. Are they mediocre stocks or are they high performing stocks? So these, like S&P 500 is so popular because these tracks, if it has the top 500 companies in the United States at point in time. What do I mean by point in time? It means that they are reviewing them every quarter. They are reviewing, just like, you have end of year performance, right? For those of people in the corporate world, you have a end of the year performance where some people will be rated a 3, right? And people will be rated, what do they call? You exceeded expectation, you met expectation, or you did not meet expectation, and then you are put, those that were put on PIP, something of that nature. That's the same thing for all of those companies. In that top 500, those 500 companies, they are also reviewed that way, right? Whereby the fact that you got into S&P 500 this quarter doesn't mean that you're going to be in S&P 500 next quarter, right? Because they're looking at their revenue, they're looking at their profitability, they're looking at their cash flow. They're all it's a race, right? So it means that these companies, you almost would not, because I mean, that's the top. So what are these companies? Think about it. Like a Microsoft, like a Google, like an Amazon, like an Apple, and it doesn't have to be tech. So I'm just talking about the big ones. All of these are the companies in this S&P 500. Now, S&P 500 is just one type of ETF because it's very popular. Another, there's the S&P 1000. Guess what? Let me bust your bubbles. You can buy the entire US stock market. You can buy the entire global market, like the entire world market. So not just the US, global. So what does that, and some of them has returned averaging 11%, like the S&P 500 has returned between 8 to 12% for the past 30, 40 years. Emphasis on averagely, maybe because you might have been hearing this, full disclosure. It doesn't mean that this year it doesn't mean that every year it makes between 8 and 12%. No. But because it's form of long-term investing, it's not a day trading strategy, right? It's not penny stock strategy. It means that you are putting your money for maybe another 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Averaging within that window, your money would actually grow, right? Your money averaging within that period, you'd realize that you would have between 8 to 12%. That's what you get. All right. And that is the beauty of S&P 500, right? Because it has a track record. So why does their multimillionaire put their money right there? Diversification. 2, it has a track record. It's not a penny stock that you are gambling, the chances of this stock will becoming the next biggest thing. That's the same thing that the chances of it becoming is a 0, which was part of my case where 100,000. But these, I lost close to $100,000, and I've learned how not to invest, and I've also learned how to invest because it has also given me hundreds of thousands of dollars as well. Because I've been able to grow my wealth, being steady. There's something called the rule of 72, whereby you double your money every 7 years. 7 years might sound like a long time, but guess what? The power of compounding is the reason wonder of the world, because your money doubles every single. Increases your money. So think about it. You put 100,000 by year 28. Your money, that same 100,000, without putting anything more, your money becomes $1.6 million. You did not put anything. The only thing is that you put it in an S&P 500, you put it in the stock market that is safe, that is growing it. But then the only thing that is stopping you from having your 1.6 million right now is just between 25 to 28 years, or even 20 years, depending on the kind of ETF that you have. But a lot of time we are never patient, right? We always want it now. So, and this is the strategy, because the multimillionaires and the billionaires understand this, that the time in the market will always supersede time in the market. All right. And that's the strategy. And that's what I also learned. And it has started growing well for me. Okay. That's why, and everybody that is just meeting me for the first time, I'm not one of those people that will tell you, oh, you grow your money tomorrow. But what I can tell you is that you will build generational wealth. Okay, because it's not what I don't teach get rich quick scheme. I took two things. I teach how you can grow your money through compounding safely, right? And I also teach how you can invest in real estate, because real estate pays you in 6 different ways. But then I don't teach you the one where it's fix and flip, or even though I talk about it, I know it, I teach it. But then I also don't teach the one that is long-term investing. So it's more of long-term with structure, something that you can use, and then you can also teach your children, and you're going to get the same result. Because if I do it, if another person do it, they will get the same result. But the only thing is that time, patience, and consistency is very crucial in this strategy. Okay, so and that's basically it. ETF, basket of fun. S&P 500 is one. Another one that you can have there is NASDAQ 100. NASDAQ 100 is basically top technology companies in the United States, right? That's it. Another one, if you want cash flow, you also want growth. It's something called dividends ETF. So in this one, you are going to be getting, some profit sharing. Aside the fact that the stock is growing, or the ETF is growing, you also get money every month, right? In little money, like, okay, we make profit, right? Because this one tracks companies that have paid dividends for close to Johnson & Johnson, company like Procter & Gamble, that have paid dividend consistently every single quarter or month, or depending on their books, right? consistently for the past 100 years. These are companies that we have in the dividends ETF, and that is SCHD. That's the ticket symbol. That has also returned decently. And then if you're one of those people that don't want to, you want to invest in real estate, but you don't want to go the traditional route, there is also the real estate ETF. So think about it. You see all those high rise, you see all those malls, you see, all those theaters and all of that. You see all of that, and you'll be like, who owns all those things? At times, it's property companies, right? That are listed on the US Stock Exchange, publicly traded, using the public's money to build those property, and then they're renting it out and getting money, and then they're sharing, and that's how you grow it. Okay, that is how you grow your money, because you cannot individually go and buy a movie theater. You can, right? But you're not buying individual movie theater or whatever, but you can put your $100, 200,000 on $200, and then you share out of the profit, right? Out of the 1 billion that they made, they will give you a percentage, because let's say they're giving a percentage of 5%, you also get your 5% or 10% return on that your $200 that you put in there. And that is how you edge against the inflation. It's inflation that we don't want to lose your money, right? You want your money to be safe, but at the same time, you want it to grow. Because if you just save, what you're doing is that it's not growing, right? And if it's not growing, you cannot get freedom. You cannot build wealth. And of course, freedom is the goal. Freedom is the goal. And thank you all for tapping out the live. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for getting your daily at me, and for the Go Populous. Okay. Thank you for doing that. And feel free, if you have any person, remember I'm just teaching on the side because nobody's asking question, right? You can today's free consultation. If you want to come up on the TT side, just ask or just request, and I'll bring you up and you can ask your question, and just come as a panel right there. So weekends are more like free consultation for you, right? And that is ETF, right? ETF. And the thing that is very important when it comes to ETFs though, or index funds, right? ETF is potato. They are the same thing. Index fund is just, you get your money at the end of the day, if you or you trade it, and see how much you purchase there at the end of the day. But ETF is traded like stock. You can buy and sell just like stock during the day. Get your money. It's almost as liquid as it can be. Get your money and all of that. But the thing about it's one thing that is very important in this is consistency, right? Because you're putting money like a clockwork, right? Every single paycheck, just the same way you're paying your taxes, you should also be paying yourself by investing in the stock market, right? Investing in ETF, you're buying it, you allow your automation to do the job for you, and you're growing your money, right? Because think about it, somebody that puts a child that starts from age 20 and start putting $100 every single month till 65, that child will have over $1 million, runs into millions of dollars, because it's putting money consistently right here. Like if you go and check right now, VOO is at 625, 645, right? Because S&P 500 is at all-time high now, right? As of 2 weeks ago, it was at 585. Thank you so much for sharing the live. It was at 585, but right now it has gone all the way up. It's at all-time high. Guess what? I bought it some years ago, 3 years ago, or whatever. I bought it at 285. I bought it at 320. My money has literally doubled, even though they say that it takes 7 years. But let's assume that whatever I bought as of that time has already doubled. Okay, so whenever they say rule of 70, to say it's almost like the worst case scenario. It's like a worst case scenario, right? And that's why but guess what? It helps to edge against inflation, because if S&P 500 has returned 8%, right? 8%. If inflation is 3% or 3.3%, it simply means that you're getting more returns, right? You're still having about 4.7% left, right? 4%, your money is still growing at 4.7 if 3.3% is the inflation, right? And you only get 8%. But if you leave it in the bank, you get 0.01% return, right? And guess what? it means that you are losing close to like 3.299. That's what you are losing every year on your money. Instead of you are not just not just growing it, you are also losing. Okay, you are also losing. All right, so that's why this strategy works, and that's why I started teaching it. But consistency is key. You don't timing in the time in the market, it always supersedes the timing in the market. You want to like, okay, when is the market down? But that time that you're waiting, all you have to do is just be buying it like clockwork. Like whenever you get your paycheck, buy it. Whenever you get your, that's it. And that's how you do it. Okay. That is how you do it. And that's how you win when it comes to investing. Guess what? Before you know it, you have all of this money, right? All of this money in your account, right? And you just see that, oh, how did I get started? When I started investing about, I think like 19 years ago, when I started investing, I started with my employer then, which was Procter and Gamble, right? And I started with stock option because they would, whenever I put money, they would match it up to 12% just to encourage us to invest, right? And I started doing the matching from 12% since that time. I remember when the stock then was like $60, or even I know that I bought at $48 or $60 or whatever, maybe $48 or I can't remember. But as of today, even though it's not one of those that grows because the value stock, it is all close to $200 or $160 or something. So it means that my money has not just tripled, and of course employer is also matching it, and of course I am also, it's one of the dividend stock, so I'm getting dividends. My principal has doubled almost like 3 or 4 5 times, right, since that time, because I'm getting the principal in itself, right, the stock itself are triples of, is a quadrupled, right, but at the same time I'm getting dividend. And whenever I get dividends, I have it on drip such that it is auto reinvest. So I'm not taking the money out. So guess what? The money, I know, I look at what did I put in, what I have right now. And that's how it is. It feels like I can remember 18 or 19 years ago when I started working, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how did I get here? And that's how it is. It might feel like it's when you call the number, that's when it becomes a long time. But guess what? It's just like, where are we now? We're already in April. April 25th. This coming week that we are getting into, it's already May. I know that next Saturday is May the 2nd. So it means that already 2026 is almost gone. It's almost gone. And by the way, all those your new year, new me, how are we doing with those goals? How are we? Because it's already mid-year. It's already a mid-year. We run straight into summer. Before you know it, we're doing Thanksgiving, and it's already the end of the year. So that's why I always say, do not procrastinate. A lot of times, the biggest mistake people do is, you know what, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Procrastination. Waiting too long. I'm waiting. I bet, put in the comments, I bet a lot of us have heard what I'm talking about today. And a lot of us, more than 50%, are not taking action, right? More than 50%. And it's about, do it tomorrow. I don't have time. Waiting too long. Every single time that you wait, you're losing money. Some people have been saying that for the past 5 years, but guess what? They haven't still done it. Oh, I bet. Thank you so much for the follow. They haven't still done it. Okay. They haven't still done it. Waiting too long to invest, right? Because every single time that you wait, every single time, right, you are losing money. Remember, everything that is stopping you from that millionaire status. So let's put it to play, because I always like to put numbers, right? To put numbers around it. So think about it. You want to invest, let's say, okay, 10,000 is what you want to save this year, and you feel that is a lot of money. Basically, that's $27 a day. $27. A lot of us spend more than $27 a day. Yes. I know, because I see them. I see them in my work. I see them, because they will do coffee in the morning, Starbucks in the morning. That's about $5 to $7 with the sandwich or whatever. And then the lunch now are more expensive. Now before now it was averaging between $10 to $15. Now it's between $15 to $20. That's what it is. right? So when you calculate that, that is $27. But a lot of time, one of the things that people would say is that they're waiting too long. The other thing is that I don't have money to invest, right? That's your $10,000. That is it right there. Your Roth IRA, all that it needs to take for you. Q7, I bet. Thank you so much for sharing the light. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for tapping out the light. Think about it. 7,500 is Roth IRA. That is $625 every single month. That means $312.50. That's what you need to bring out every paycheck, right? To max out your Roth IRA. That is less than $20 in a day, right? Those are the ways you see the way I break these numbers. Whenever you think that, okay, I don't have money to invest, think about it that way. Use this strategy. How much do you want to invest? How much does it take to invest, right? And then break it down, then supplement it. What are the things that I can do? All those subscription right there that you're not using, right? That subscription that you're not using. That car wash that you have not taken to car wash for whatever, but that you are paying it every single month. That what is it again? Subscription, that lunch that you're eating that you can actually eat from home. Take that sandwich that it takes you a few minutes, you can get to do it, right? All those orders on TT Shop and on TT Street and on what's it called? On Amazon that you really don't need it, but because you are bored, that's why you're doing it. Guess what? That is the money that you need right there, that you think that you don't need to invest. And let's even say that, okay, you don't really, so even if you're any minimum wage, right? That's what I totally understand. But even with your minimum wage, don't you pay taxes? You pay taxes. So if you pay taxes with your minimum wage, then you should be able, even if it's $1, you should use it to pay. Because, and that, how do you pay yourself? Put it in investment. Do it like a clockwork, no matter how little. That's why I said life is now so easy. No matter how little, just put the money there. $1 is all you can do, but just stick with that your $1. Whenever you get salary increase or you supplement you got additional side also or whatever, you now know that, okay, increase the number from your $1 to $10. Increase it from $10 to $30. Like that, and continue. But the first step is start. Stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating, because you want the time in the market, right? Time in the market. The best thing that I would recommend for anyone would be do a percentage of your, if you can, do a percentage of your income. Hey, Messi, welcome. Yeah, do a percentage of your income, right? And let it go into for your investment account, a percentage. So it's not going to be numbers, a percentage. If you can do that, you can do, okay, 5%, right? And then it goes into that account. So what does that mean? Whenever you get salary increase, it means that your percentage is going to also increase by that. Your investment is going to increase based on the percentage, based on the increment of your income. It will not be numbers. So if you can do that, that would also help. And whenever you get all those bonuses, right? Some of us get bonuses. Whenever you get your bonuses, take a little to slot, right? Enjoy yourself. Of course, you work hard for it, but a little bit, 10%, 12%, 15%. But take the remaining 80%, put it into investment. Let it grow, because it's your money at the end of the day. It's called something called delayed gratification. Have it now or wait another 1 year. Let it grow, right? If you have $10,000, if you had $10,000 in S&P 500 last year, right? You would have gotten $1,800. $1,800 is what you would have got. And that $1,800 would have done what? That vacation that you are paying for right now, you would have taken care of the vacation, at least for one, to Mexico or wherever you want to go. But that is how you enjoy life, right? Not on your own bills, not on your own time. Because now it's your money that traded. It's your money that worked. It's not you that worked. That is how you make your money work for you. All right? You make your money work for you. And that's how you build wealth, right? Because that 1,800, remember, it's 10,000. When it becomes 100,000, right? When it becomes 100,000, because you are now doing it every single year, right? You did 10,000 year one, year two, like that. It becomes 100,000. How much are you going to get in return? $18,000. And that is how you feel that, oh, a lot of people, oh, the multimillionaires are that. At times, it's not as bad. It's not like they are using that what their money generated. That's what they're using to enjoy that life and slot. But a lot of times, we want to kill the chicken, right? Instead of focusing on the egg that the chicken lays, but we want to kill the chicken even before the chicken even lays the egg. Talk less of even hatching the legs, the eggs. So the thing about it, we just want to ensure, we want to make sure that we want to make sure that we are investing as much as possible. This is, you see what I just talked about. That is what is going to keep you in the middle class status to versus moving from the middle class status to outside of the middle class status. Meaning you being an earner to an owner, right? Even if you're earning, right? If you're earning whatever, you can keep earning and it's not growing, right? To remain in that status. And but guess what? The owner status, which is your money growing, right? It's not, you are not buying any business, but you invest in simple S&P 500. Take you minutes to do it. That brings you to the ownership status. When you get to the ownership status, you start growing your wealth, right? And then on top of that, if you take it step further and you move to like real estate or you move into businesses, you start enjoying something that is benefit, tax advantage, owners and that comes with ownership. You would start enjoying it. So maybe you would have heard this, that the middle class pays the highest taxes in this country, in the United States, and this is the same thing globally. Middle class pays the highest level of taxes. Why? Because so far you are just in the earning income category. Your tax bracket remains, there's something called standard. There's some things that you can never claim and it's not going to grow. But when you switch, you move, still remain in the earners category and you move to the owners category, you put it in stock market. Messi, thank you for the follow. You haven't followed? I'm surprised. You haven't followed. Yeah, every other person, please check if you haven't followed. Maybe you forgot, right? If you have found this valuable, yeah, follow and tap out the like, share the live, and on the white, follow as well, right? Subscribe as well if you haven't done that, because a lot of time people assume that they are followed, and so let's check. Take a minute to check, and let's also be tapping out the live while we also get our daily admin right there. It costs you 1 coin, and the Go Populars as well. Thank you so much for doing all of that. So, but guess what? When you move to the ownership category, I tell you, and this is just personal, right? I got my tax consultant just reached and I said, how much did I get from IRS? Over $20,000. $20,000. That's with a vice president's salary and a professor salary. So like that's 2 income, right? But then you will pay taxes. I got money back. Why? That's because I own multiple double-digit real estate portfolio. So the money that you're looking for, it's in when you save it and you invest it. That is, I can decide to now say, okay, I take 5,000 out of that and I go on a vacation. It's free money. I could have given that money to IRS, but no. And it's not me. I didn't file it. It's my tax consultant. Professionals. That's why I do professionals. I pay professionals to do the job. They have been doing it for over 30, 40 years. So they definitely know what they're doing. So, but guess what? That's the same reason why Mr. Trump has so much taxes. Because he has Trump toward this, Trump toward, how many Trump towards do you know? On the street of Vegas, in New York, and all of that. That's because he invests, and when he invests, this investment, you are able to claim taxes and reduce your taxes. So that's another level. So these are things that nobody is telling us. And that's why the middle class remains in that middle class. So you need to be intentional. Be intentional. I always say, be intentional about your money. Be intentional about building wealth. The same way you are intentional about waking up by 9 a.m., waking up every morning, going to your job, doing your 9 to 5. Be intentional about planning your money. Be intentional about investing your money. Be intentional about growing your money. Because once you do that, you realize that automatically the wealth is going to follow. Because automatically, I mean, that's literally, I'm just really just sharing 20 grand. That's some people's, work for, 3 months. That's what I just got for free. So that's, and just, this is not to say anything. This is just like to a wake up call. A wake up call. If I buy a car, if I use it, I need to know the capacity of the car that I'm buying. If I use it for the business for a certain percentages, for instance, I use it to go for inspection, I use it to go and show a house, I do all of that, I use it. The whole price of that, the whole cost of that car goes into reducing my taxes. Is it the whole cost of 50% or whatever? Goes into reducing my taxes. There's a reason why you cannot claim your home, your primary address, for taxes, but you can claim a rental for taxes. So those are the things that you need to think about whenever and those are strategies that would keep a middle class, remain in that middle class that will work to 65. I always say that there is some of my videos you would see. You make, and I'll have the dollars, the dollars right there to show you. This is what you work for 45 years, 40 years. But when it's time for you to say invest, that money that you are killing yourself and you do it 45 years and you are going there, they're frustrating you. I'm not saying there's dignity in labor, because you need that money to actually build wealth. It's a seed, right? Whenever you work and you get paid, that's a seed money. But if you use the money as you eat it as the fruit, the fruit of your labor, that's what they said, right? The fruit of your labor. If you actually use it literally as the fruit of your labor and you eat it, guess what? You will never grow wealth. You will continue to, eat the fruit of your labor, continue to work and eat the fruit of your labor. That's what you'll be doing. But for you to actually, so whoever said that thing, there's a reason why because they want to keep you poor. But for you to get into wealthy status, what should you do? What you should do is you take some of the fruit, right? But then put majority of it as a seed on the ground. Then when that seed, it will definitely germinate. Then it start giving you the fruit. The time that you are waiting is just, you see that timing? When I say timing in the market, that's the time when you put it in the ground and it's germinating. It takes time for it to come out, right? Guess what? If you put one seed on the ground, chances are that you are going to get 10 tomatoes, 10 strawberries, 10, whatever. Multiple of it is what you're going to get. But a lot of time, people never want to have that delayed gratification. Biobi, thank you so much for joining. Thank you all for tapping out the live. And if you have not followed, follow and tap out the live, share the live, invite others. Especially if you have found this helpful, get your daily at me, right there. Get your daily at me and come and learn how to build wealth the right way. Because, we're talking about ETF, we're talking about smart investing, but right now, this is the wealth coach part of me. So you need to always think about it every single day. As I'm going to my job, I'm trading my time for money. Okay, what do you do with that money? That is what really matters, because people often get it wrong. Oh, it's I need to make more money. Yes, you can make more money, but if you don't use the money judiciously, you are not growing the money. You will continue. Yes, you keep making the money, but you will work until you are old. Then you retire and then you die. Then where is the purpose in the midst? Because you did not come here to this world to come and work. There's a purpose why God dropped you here. And are you fulfilling that purpose? Not to come and pay bills. So what should you do? Take some of that income, put it into investment. What sort of investment? Real estate, ETF, index fund. Think of businesses. Diversify your portfolio. Do not just put it in one. Just spread it. So the same way I have money in the stock market, I also have money in real estate. Then I also pushing on businesses, like all of those kind of franchise like McDonald's and all of those big franchises, even laundromats, small franchises, vending machine. Those are the kind of things. Instead of you taking your money and saying that you want to eat the fruit of your labor, and you went to buy that Chanel purse, or you want to buy that what's it called, that Mercedes, or you want to go and buy that Lobotini shoes. It's okay. I'm not disputing it. But guess what? Like these taxes that I got back, about 20,000, over 20,000 I got back. Guess what? Who is going to question me if I go and buy a Lobotini shoes right now? Or I go and buy a Chanel bag as a trip? It is not, this money I could have given it to the IRS, right? I couldn't. But the thing about it, it's my investment. That is where delayed gratification, that's where it comes in. Delayed gratification, when you delay that gratification, then it's just time. Let your friends be buying all of their buying. It's none of your business. You guys are twins. It doesn't still mean that you came out the same minute. It's impossible for two people to come out the same time. So it's a lot of time. Now we have to all wake up. Instead of you trying to look wealthy, why not just be wealthy? Let us be wealthy. Okay, you wear Gucci from head to toe. You wear Louis Vuitton handbag and all of those things just to do what? And then you enter a Mercedes Benz, right? That's fine. It's good, right? It's good. I love good things. But how do we invest? There's a smart investing workshop that is coming May the 2nd, which is next week, Saturday. It's free, but registration is required. And I'll quickly show it to everyone. While we do our gist, right? I'll show it to you. Find it right here. Click on Nestuge. Click on Open Anyway. Right here. And you'll find the same thing on YouTube for the YouTube guys as well. And those that are on my Instagram, Money Talk with Dr. Lina, the same thing. You find it here. Click on it here. And then you invest you register. It's a workshop, right? So you need to come with your laptop. You're going to get emails on the brokerage firm for all of the different countries, right? Brokerage firm, you can just go and open the account that you want, or just simply go on Google and search for it, and then you can start investing that way. Through the workshop, set it up. All these things I'm saying, you will do it. The other other part of the thing is that if you also, another kind of investing is real estate. If you don't know how to start with real estate, or you're interested in real estate, you would also find it there, right there. Once you get into the store, you would see all of the products that I have that you can actually benefit from, right? A lot of time people don't invest in themselves. They always invest in all of these luxury items to look good, not to look good. As a matter of fact, it's not about looking good, because it's not everything that is expensive. It's not all those brand names, right? Like I'm wearing a polo right now. Does it change the fact that I cannot buy the same thing on Temu? The same thing, I can buy it on Temu. It's just that the only difference is that this is just the brand polo that increases the price of it. But guess what? This polo that I'm wearing is an investment that pays for it. So I am not against, like I said, I am not against people wearing nice things. I am not against people buying nice things. As a matter of fact, I love nice things. I've been to 22 countries. But the only thing is that how people go about it is what I am against. People get credit cards. People can buy things that they cannot afford just to impress people that don't care about them. Try to look wealthy when they can act. Why can't you just, the time that you're spending, that money that you're using to look wealthy, to show people, to show off that you are wealthy, take that money, invest it, right? And then you would actually be wealthy. Stop the role play, or what is they call it? Stop the acting. Stop the acting. Take the action. Take that money, because in the process you are pushing away your wealth, right? In the process of you not, in the process of you just not, how do I put it? In the process of you acting, right? Acting, not investing. And just back to Nana, the question that you asked, you will find it. It's the workshop is next week Saturday, 12 noon. It's free, but registration is required. We have very few seats, very, very tiny seats left now. And once it's filled, it's full. Like I said, it's free, but registration is required. So basically, and you want to know, just to keep it simple, you want to know how to start investing in the stock market, because this one is about stock market, is about ETF, it's about index funds, right? The first thing is open the account. Once you open the account, a brokerage account, right? If you're in the US, like Fidelity, Schwab's, Robinhood, Webull, the difference of them. But once you register, you get a list. If you're in Canada, there's World Simple. If you are in the UK, there's Trading 212. If you are in Africa, there's Bamboo. There is Investment One. There's Stanbic that you can buy, or you can do your investment from there. But if you once you register, you get the different ones, right? You find it there. I don't have any affiliation with any of them. It's just for you. Look at it. The list is just supposed to guide you. Open the account because it's a workshop. So it's going to be answered. What time is it happening on Saturday? It's 12 noon Central Time. So 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Or you don't know the time. When you registered, all the time zone, the different time zone is there, right? Once you register, you get an auto email and you will find all the time zone right there. Okay, so far, welcome. All the time zone right there. Thank you for the daily admin. Thank you, girl. Thank you so much. So if anybody wants me to show you again how to get it registered, let me know. Let me know. So basically, you open your account with any of the, you open your account with any of the places or with any of the brokerage firm. The second thing is, what do you invest in? You invest in ETF, right? What are the different ETF? We'll talk about it because I'm well. Welcome. What are the different ETFs, right? I've given like an S&P 500. I talked about NASDAQ 100, but you need to know which one is good for you. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you all for tapping out the live. You need to know which one is good for you, right? And that's why we are going to be talking about that during the workshop. That's why it's a workshop. It's going to be everyone across my all of my followers across the multiple platform. I have a larger following on IG, and I also have my YouTube on the other side. So everybody's going to be on a Zoom call. It's not going to be here. So that's why I said registration is required so that you will get access to it. So it's not going to be here. I know that they're asking, is it what time? It's 12 noon Central Time, but it's not going to be here. So you need access, you need registration. It's free, but registration is required. And just to show it again one more time, you find it right here, click on it, nestu.me, open anyway. And once you have open anyway, you will find it right here. It's free, but you just need to register. Just a few more slots left, okay? And then you can see, if for those that are asking other questions or sending me DMs, you would also find all of the products. Just look at it, whichever one works for you. Or if you have any question, just send me a DM and I'll be able to provide. But they are pretty descriptive, like the men of the roses. There's the mentorship there. There is the real estate for those that want to start investing. Thank you so much for the Go Popular. Want to invest in real estate. You want to, there's another. So we're having the Smart Investing Workshop this in May, right? In June, be on the lookout for the Wealth Building Academy. That one is an academy whereby we're talking about skills. We're talking about the 4 pillars. And of course, we would be having the mid-year reset, your wealth reset. We had it in December. It's going to be a reset of your finances, where you're looking at your finances. You want to make all of those changes and all of that. On the lookout, that is going to be, it's in June. HR directors, or all of those kind of people. Like, if people want to change your career, because I talk about 4 pillars, right? It starts with your income, right? Income is the beginning, right? When you start with your income, let's keep tapping out. Can we get to 10,000? I want to believe that we can get to 10,000 today. Can we get to 10,000 taps? And let's keep, if you haven't followed, check if you haven't followed so that you can follow. Because a lot of time people like, oh, I thought I'd followed. Okay. Yeah. You check if you have not followed, click on the follow button. Okay. and get your daily at me. And for all of the people that have gotten daily at me right there, make sure you claim your point. Make sure you claim your point. Always remember, and you can get Go Popular. Go Popular makes here popular, and can we tap it out to 10,000 likes? Let's tap it out to 10,000. And the other day we got to 60,000. So let's keep tapping it out. Really appreciate everyone. I know we are all locked in, and I know we are all thinking about our finances. We have our pen and paper. Mr. Gregory, Jennifer, Alfred, Cindy, Coco, Suarez, Dini, Mayobi. I know we are all I know we are all locked in with pens. Whenever it comes to money, whenever it comes to health, I know people are always like, okay, the P5, how are you? Thank you for tapping out the live. Let's do power tapping, power sharing. Thank you all for sharing the live. And my YouTube community, thank you for subscribing, sharing the live. Who is what's that trade steel? I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Yeah. So we're talking about invest. And if anybody wants to come up on the panel, feel free, ask me anything. Come up and ask questions. Just send a request, or if you don't know how to go about it, put it in the comments and I'll bring you up, right? Today is one of those days. It's free, free consultation. You have discussion about your credit. You want to discuss about your how do you grow your credit? How do you because that's part of the last pillar, like the fortress, right? The financial fortress, the financial foundation. So the financial discipline, financial literacy, right? The financial planning, right? That is part of all of that, and the financial freedom. Okay. All right. All right. So perfect. And thank you all for tapping out the light. Thank you for tapping out the light. So really, it's just very important. Just to recap, you have your income here. Take some of it to fund your lifestyle, not trying to impress anybody. Sorry, nobody's coming to save you, right? Nobody's coming to save you. It's what you do now that is going to really matter. Nobody's coming to save you. If you delay the gratification, take some of the money and put it towards asset. I remember when we were growing and we were building the double-digit real estate portfolio. Yes, we were still doing some basic things, but then we were like, okay, you know what? The goal is to meet this double-digit real estate portfolio. We have a number in mind, and every single year, there are years when we are like buying 2 properties, years when we are buying 3 properties, because we are just putting all the money together. We're putting everything, right? Guess what? Now we can say that, okay, on the first of every month, you're getting tens and tens of thousands of dollars every single month in rent, right? In rent. And that's where you want to be, because at the end of the whole thing, you can decide to work because you want to work, not because you have to work to, you have to work to pay bills. All right. And that's where you want to be. You want to have options. You don't want a story where you are now, first of all, you need to have your emergency fund. So if you don't have your emergency fund, that's even the beginning. Have your emergency fund. Any debt that is above 10%, so all those high interest debt, first of all, take care of those ones, and then you can now start investing. You can now start investing, right, in ETFs and real estate. Okay, let's keep tapping out the life, and I'll just, I'll start rounding up shortly. If anybody has any question, if you have any question, and now is still your time for the smart investment. How you buy it, exchange traded fund is a basket of stocks, right, which you buy, and then it grows your money. Between 8 to 12% is what is returned. S&P 500 is like the very popular one, is returned 8 to 12% in the past 12 in the past how many years? In the past 30, 40 years. So averagely, so you are sure that you're guaranteed that. And at least you beat inflation at 3.3%. You still have your money growing at 4 to 7%, or even 4 to 9%. That's basically what you're still getting as a return. And with these alone, your money can double itself in less than 7 years. In less than 7 years. All right. Okay, let's keep tapping out the live. I know we got to 5,000, but we'll be wrapping up shortly. We'll be wrapping up shortly. Any question? Any question? Be it on real estate, you have question, you know, on real estate, on ETF. All right. Have you all registered for the smart investing workshop? Anybody that's not registered? Is there anybody that hasn't registered? Sibel, welcome. I want to believe everyone here has registered. So if you haven't, now you still have today, tomorrow, before it's shut down. Because once we get to the numbers, we're going to take it off, and then we can make sure that everyone. Great, great. All right. Coach Cash, welcome. Dini, Alfred, Mr. Gregory, Coco, Cindy. All right. I'll be wrapping up now. So I want to know, what's the thing that is stopping you from investing right now? What's that one thing that is stopping you from investing right now? What's that one thing? If you care to share. Hey, Tammy, welcome. If you care to share, what's that one thing? DP5. How come I don't see you on the list? The only thing is that I see when you tap, but I just don't see share toasting. I don't know. I don't see you on the list, but I just keep seeing you tapping. What's that one thing that's stopping you from investing right now? If anyone cares to share. You don't know how to get started. Is it the money? Is it, you are just not ready. You are not in that frame of mindset. What's that when anybody cares to share? Money and fear. Mr. Gregory, no, that's not you. Did you get my message, Mr. Gregory? Sorry it took me a bit, it's just been a busy, weekend. Hey, is that Mr. K Jam? It's been a minute. How are you? Are you here, or did you just pass through? I did. I responded to your message. And I know you do not have any fear. Mr. It's not you. Are you speaking for others? Because not you. I responded to your message. I just responded before this live. It's just been a busy day from busy last night till to date. Yeah, I had some tenants come moving, and I had still had some showings and all of that. Thank you all for tapping out the live. Let's tap it. Hopefully we can get to 10,000. If anybody wants to come up, let me try you today, Mr. Gregory. Maybe we'll get lucky. And I'll just invite everyone, and just if anybody wants to come up, feel free. Anybody wants to just say hello, so that it's not just me that is always talking, and I can meet all of you. So I sent an invite. Don't be shy. Let me meet each and every one of you. We have 6 more minutes and we'll wrap up the live. Can we power tap and share? And I also sent you an invite if you want to come up to the panel and just ask questions. Feel free on anything and anything at all. How you file your taxes, how I managed to get my money back, how the smart investing workshop. Subscribe if you haven't. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my You Talk with Dr. Lina, yeah, I should have it out tomorrow. So you don't want to miss that, right? It's Money Talk with Dr. Lina. By the way, it doesn't cost you anything, right? It doesn't cost you anything to follow. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. As a matter of fact, you have more things to gain, because if you can sit down and listen to me, it means that you find this information relevant and valuable. So why would you want to subscribe? Why would you want to follow, right? You're sitting here, and it just helps you whenever I have quality information out there. you turn on the notification where you know when I'm live, you can come and learn and all of that about finance. Who doesn't like money? Who doesn't like wealth? Who doesn't like good things? Yeah, I love good things, and I know everybody loves good things. And money helps you to get all those good things of life, right? Give you no, not me. I just think that is what most people are saying. I keep eating, accept, but nothing happens. I don't know. I honestly don't know what is going on. Anybody had that issue where, because I keep where I send an invite and somebody is not just able to accept. Dini, top 5 year. Thank you so much. Myope, Alfaric is it. Thank you so much for being a fan. Coco, Cindy. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you. I don't know. Yeah. That's what a lot of people are saying. I know, yeah, and that's why the investment workshop is that's the reason. That's the reason behind it. That okay, it's a workshop, it's not a class. It's a workshop. Let's deal with it, right? All those issues. Let's talk about it. Hey, Alfred. Hello. Hello, hello. did you pick it on mistake? By mistake. Let's keep tapping out the live. Thank you so much. The P5. The P5, you want to come up? I don't know why. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's keep tapping out the live. I have 3 more minutes. Alfred, do you want to say anything? How are you? I can't hear you though. If you're speaking, I cannot hear you. Okay, you're on mute. All right, no worries. But at least go. Thank you for coming up. I'm getting ready for the smile. Yay! Good. Well done. That's it. That's it. That's the way to go. Definitely see you in class. Have you opened? You got your email. So please open your account this week so that you can follow along in the class during the workshop. You can follow along and set up. Okay, perfect. You have the account open. That's great. That is great. If you are just joining, we have a smart investing workshop, free registration required, and you'll find the link in my bio. It's right here. For the people on YouTube, you would also see it in the bio. So it's here. Click on it right here. Open anyway, and you will find it right here. It's free, but registration is required. We have just limited space left at this point. So, it's just going to help you invest the right way. Okay, just invest the right way. Awesome, awesome. Vanguard account open. That's great. Okay, that's great. Fidelity is also a good one. What did you open both Roth and brokerage, or it's just a brokerage account? Or do you want to come up? It's always going to be nice to have a party, right? Great, great. Awesome. So, okay, great. No worries, no worries. Great, great. All right. Thank you all for tapping out the live. We'll wrap up in 1 minute. So thank you so much. Let's keep tapping out the live though. Let's tack it out all the way. All the way. I hope you found the information valuable today. I hope you find it valuable. Thank you all for tapping out the live all the way. Perfect. All right, all right, all right. And those on YouTube, thank you so much for subscribing. And I'll definitely see you guys tomorrow with the latest post, the long form video. All right. I love you guys so much.